Greetings, one and all. It is I, Paul. I'm still doing my Justin Hawkins impression. I can't help it. He also does this thing at the beginning of his casts where he goes, Justin Hawkins rides again. Anyway, I should do that. I should endeavor to do that on guitar. I'm here today to do another recording. I want to show you a brief bit of this lady. I've done 3 videos the last few days, experimenting with this and seeing how I like what I'm recording here, testing out this new system. And I keep going back to the channel on YouTube, the Charismatic Voice, with this lady whose name is Elizabeth Zharoff. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but she's an opera lady, an opera singer, an opera lady. And I just have sort of been fascinated by what she's doing. And so I want to first show you a brief clip of her singing opera here, because I was looking at it earlier today and it's pretty extraordinary. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but I am going to play some of this and demonstrate how immensely impressed I am with this lady. Like, I'm not even sure if there's sound yet. Let me see. We going? Son of a B word. Sound. Roadcaster. There we go. I don't want to start this video over. So let's get to the part where she sings. Okay. Hold up. Well, now listen to that. Tell me that's not extraordinary. And excuse me. Look, so these videos I've reviewed this lady, her facial expressions are always extraordinary to me. And so, let me just keep going on her. Look how much passion she puts into this. Okay, so I'm so impressed, and she's such a pretty lady, and it's her beauty. I have to remark on her beauty, otherwise it wouldn't be me, and I'm not going to get crass or Howard Sterny on you. That's part of why I disposed of the other videos, because I was over the top doing that. And then I went to her Instagram, and I found out she's married, and she has a child, and I'm just like, oh, brother. Because I felt I'm trying to grow as a person, and I don't want to always do flirt shtick, but it's sincere. Like I see female performers all the time, and when they're passionate and when they're exceptionally good at what they're doing, like as this lady is, and when they have innate beauty physically, and when you hear that passion and that emotion, I can't help but be attracted to that. So but sometimes I can be a little bit intense and overbearing in the way I go about it. And I don't really want to give you an example of it right now. Just take my word for it. But look how passionate she is and what she puts into her performance here. So I'm immensely impressed by this lady, and I want to just close out of this here. And I want to come over here to her.
Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today's analysis may be a little bit ridiculous. We'll be taking a look at 5 short clips of elite singers performing with orchestra songs from South Park. So these will very likely be offensive. It is South Park after all, so you've been warned. And they may or may not contain good singing. A lot of the singing in South Park, after all, is purposefully bad, but it's going to be fun to find out. So let's get to it.
Oh, I did not know that this was going to be an actual opera performance. There she is, making her faces again. Okay. You know why this is funny is because you're expecting something serious and pompous when you hear an orchestra, and these guys are saying, "I like girls with big fat titties. I like girls with whatever." That's funny. And it's not the guys on the TV show. I thought that they would be the ones singing this, and I thought that that's what would be funny about this. And of course, Elizabeth is amused as well. Let's continue.
Wait a second. Okay.
And okay, you have the guys from South Park sitting in the balcony there. That's kind of funny. Oh, where'd they go? Okay, whatever.
So this is the South Park. It's like a theme song from that. And part of it, Kenny is mumbling in, and I feel like we might have just gotten a translation from that in the middle, which is hilarious. Also, the way that this is sung, it's very monotone and almost sounds rappy from the original characters. And all of a sudden, we actually have very good voices here singing these lines and telling me that all of these lines actually had a definitive pitch.
As in Trey Parker and Matt Stone, you suck. Right. Go on. Go on, Elizabeth. Charismatic vocal lady. Continue with your analysis.
Which the original characters probably just kind of glazed over. It was kind of monotone for the most part, and then I guess there was kind of some pitch. Anyhow, back to the beginning.
Oh no, she always does that. Back to the beginning.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere.
Going down to South Park, gonna leave my woes behind. It won't working day or night, people shouting howdy neighbor. Heading on up to South Park, gonna see if I can unwind. I love girls with big fat titties, I love girls with deep vaginas.
Oh man.
Meet some friends of mine.
I like girls with deep you know what. Okay, good. And there they are right there, the South Park cast. Actually, let me see if I can go like this. That's a little better. Yeah, this is a funny show, and I thought this might be something funny to review with this lady. She's always fun, always has the most amazing facial expressions, and the smile is awesome. She's uplifting for me. I actually said on one of the test videos I did a couple days ago that I was tired because I was short on sleep, and I was bumming out, and I was like, I don't know if I want to come here and do this. But then, like, she's uplifting. Everything about her smiling and I don't know if psychologically the impact this has to sit home alone a lot. I'm a solitary guy. And so I see her on here. And, like, even though it's not the real person sitting in front of me, I feel like I'm interacting with people. And so I like that about it. And that's not much about this video. That's about me. So I got to be a little self-absorbed in this. It's my emotional interpretation, my take on it, having heard this. But I like girls with deep you know what. I never knew that's what he said there. But now we know. And she pointed that out for me. I have learned a lot from this lady in just a few videos.
I'm actually very surprised. This is much more of a Broadway style of singing.
I'm singing opera.
So the mouth movement,
like a total monster. I'm just walking all over what she's saying, and I'm like, ooh. And obviously I can sing, but I'm not trained in opera, and I'm not mocking you at all. It's just such a different style. It's like foreign to me. Beautiful nonetheless. I'm not knocking it at all, I assure you.
is very, very pronounced. We are getting those words out there like crazy. I think that's very important and it's a much more forward kind of placement than what you'd expect from a classical singer, which would be much, much further back. Wow, right. And the orchestra is really good.
Yes. That's not what I was expecting when I turned this on. I thought it was going to be some clip she took from the TV show. And so instead, it's some clip she took from the orchestral rendition of the South Park theme song. And it's, I don't know exactly how long it is, but she stretches her video out 21 minutes. Someone's coughing.
I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself a time. Friendly faces everywhere.
Humble folks without temptation.
Going down to South Park, gonna leave my woes behind. It won't work in
Day or night.
People shouting howdy neighbor. Heading on up to South Park, gonna see if I can unwind.
Wow.
I love girls with big fat titties.
I like girls with
deep vaginas.
deep.
Serious.
Likes it with deep. That's funny.
I
All right.
love the delivery of it and the way they're totally straight-faced, very serious. It feels like it's a very, very serious
is
presentation
funny.
indeed.
That
Oh,
it
my
really
goodness.
is
Okay,
funny.
that's good.
It's funny that it's an orchestra, so they're like, no, 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 no. How could you not laugh? Like, they've had to do this a million times probably to get rid of their laughs, and it wouldn't surprise me if when they were first practicing that, they were laughing their asses off. Very funny.
The next one.
Well, Kyle's was a bitch, she's a big fat bitch, she's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a stupid bitch. If there ever was a bitch, she's a bitch to all the boys and girls. On Monday, she's a bitch. On Tuesday, she's a bitch. On Wednesday to Saturday, she's a bitch. Then on Sunday, just to be different, she's a super inca mea mea biatch. Have you ever met my friend Kyle's mom? She's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a mean old bitch, and she has to be there. She's a bitch, 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 bitch. She's a stupid bitch. Woo! Kyle's mom's a bitch, and she's such a dirty bitch. Bitch, Kyle's mom.
Kyle's mom. I was asking myself, who are they calling him a bitch? And it's like, Kyle's mom. Okay. There's no way those people learned these parts and didn't get a damn good laugh at first. And just like anyone doing comedy, they probably had to do it many, many, many times before they were finally able to execute without laughing because, like Elizabeth, the charismatic vocal lady said, it's so funny that it's an orchestra and it's kind of in this opera orchestra style or something, and they're all keeping a straight face. But I do like that the lady was smiling there when she when she was singing that, the operetta lady or whatever you call her. I don't know what that is. Exactly.
This has brilliant shock value.
Yes.
I will say the ending and the way they've sort of shifted.
I'm happy she's doing this, and I'm happy I'm getting to know a little more about this lady because I've seen her review several people, and the fact that she has a good sense of humor with the dirtier parts of this, or the dirty words that some people might say this is absurd and that it sullies the wonderful art that is like orchestra stuff and whatnot. But I'm glad to see this lady has a sense of humor about it.
To their vocal position, you hear more loft come into the sound, and then it gets that more classical feeling, and they bring a lot more vibrato into it as well. When they're singing a lot of the fast words, they tend to narrow it down. We're going for clarity.
It's also comedic and absurd. It's funny that she's taking it seriously and talking about their vocal technique, and so vibrato. Okay, let's hear more about vibrato over this very funny stuff.
And clarity of text and delivery in the fast parts. So they tend to be a lot more focused in here as well.
These are going to be tip-top vocalists. There's no doubt about it. If they're trained to sing with a orchestra outfit like this. I don't even know who the orchestra is. Kyle's Mom Orchestra rendition. Okay. It's funny that they put the cartoon characters there interacting with the music, and they're all like serious about it. So silly.
Kind of a little bit similar to Gilbert and Sullivan, actually. Whoa. There's some other really interesting things in here I'm going to have to go back and talk about.
Well, Kyle's was a bitch, she's a big fat bitch, she's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a stupid bitch. If there ever was a bitch, she's a bitch to all the boys and girls. On Monday, she's a bitch. On Tuesday, she's a bitch. On Wednesday to Saturday, she's a bitch.
Every day she's a bitch.
Have you ever met my friend Kyle's mom? She's the biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's a mean old bitch, and she has to be there. She's a bitch, 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 bitch. She's a stupid bitch. Woo! Kyle's mom's a bitch, and she's such a dirty bitch. Bitch, Kyle's mom is a bitch.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Vocal technique wise.
What the hell can I
Notice
say?
that when they're singing a little more classical style, we also have a little more opening in the mouth. And as the soprano at the end, as she goes up to the high note, her mouth actually opens up more. This is a little bit of vowel modification. It's very common when sopranos go higher.
This lady loves to talk about the vowels, and I guess it makes sense when you're an opera singer that those oohs and ahs and e's and whatnot, they're noteworthy, I guess. Worthy of commentary, I suppose.
Or acoustic and functional reasons. Essentially, you need to drop the jaw a little bit more, open the mouth a little bit more. So she does exactly that as she slides to the high note. Another thing to talk about is that in the word bitch, you have to get through a vowel and a lot of consonants there. And I really admire each of them for how they're able to get that pitch in on I, but still get that ch out each time, because that takes a little bit of extra time to say. So they're able to create a lot of clarity of what pitches they're singing. They're being very, very precise, but their mouth has to work really, really hard to get that ch out after every single one and not have that disturb the pitch that just happened before.
She reminds me of a choir teacher I had in the 7th grade who, when we would be singing a lyric like, let's say you're singing the words, "I want you." The choir teacher would make sure that you're singing. He would go through every individual singer in the choir and say, you sing it, and he would listen to make sure everyone is enunciating it by saying, "I want you," instead of "I want you." I want you, like ch, that sound. And then he would go through, and every single person who's making the ch sound, he'd be like, "Nope, sing it again without the ch. Do it like want you. And he would put people on the spot, which builds confidence too. And also, I noticed that training in my recordings that I do myself makes me focus very clearly when I'm harmonizing or doubling up tracks, that I'm articulating and doing things the exact same way.
One more time.
Man, she's obsessed with this track. My goodness.
Excellent diction.
Excellent bitches.
By the way,
is that what she
this,
said?
I believe, is all sung by Cartman
Excellent
in the
bitches.
show. So it's kind of cool that they've mixed around the voices here. It's I feel it's also a lot for
I
one
just got to focus in on this lady's mouth really quick. She's like, eh. Okay.
person to sing the
Keep
whole
going.
thing just straight through in one take. They could do it. These singers could do it. But it is fun to get a slightly different take from each singer. Okay, one more time from the beginning.
Oh, Lordy. This lady's always going back to the start.
The delivery.
Nice bitches. I'm talking about the words, of course.
Listen, soprano line in that is very nice and very precise. Here we go.
All right. Wonderful.
There you go. Vowel modification.
Okay.
Woo!
You know what this makes me think about is how extraordinary humanity is. Not only is humanity extraordinary the way they have learned and developed their ability to express music over the countless centuries and whatnot, going all the way back to classic music, and I'm sure stuff that started long time ago in caves, hitting rocks and discovering rhythm and all of that. Human beings are extraordinary, and then you come along and you have what probably was a very posh musical style, classical music and whatnot, and then you adapt it to some crazy over-the-top humor like South Park. It's like putting two worlds together that are insane. It's like part scatological and part like sacred beauty or something. And then you have this whole new byproduct. And whether that's a good thing, I don't know. Some people are going to hate this and think it's like a desecration, and others like me, I love a good laugh, and like life is such a pain in the ass sometimes that thank God for the laughs. That's the philosophical thing I'm saying right now is don't forget to laugh at life because it's absurd and difficult, and we gotta just do our very best to endure life. So enjoy this humor and this stuff from this lady right now. I really like it. Thank you for bringing this. And I wouldn't want to watch this by myself. It's like I wouldn't do this without her commentary here, and I hope she takes that as a compliment. This lady has so many nice, charismatic vocal lady. You have so many nice, Elizabeth, interpretations of what people are doing above and beyond just the vocal technique. But you're very astute, and I can tell you're very well versed in music and music theory, and you've been around. That sounds vulgar a little bit. You've been around the block, baby, musically speaking.
South Park, the 25th season premieres.
Oh, what's that commercial right there? Let's see. This one is Gay Fish. Make me laugh.
Only girl, I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
Gay fish, motherfucking gay fish.
Oh,
I'm a
man.
fish, yo.
Going on a gay fish.
It's alright, girl.
Making love to other gay fish.
Gay fish,
Gay fish, motherfucking
Yeah.
gay fish.
I haven't.
Going on
I personally haven't heard some of these, so I'm genuinely laughing, and I'm wondering if this is the first time she's heard it as well, like when she taped her thing here. This is funny shit.
It's
alright, girls.
Making love to other gay fish. Gay fish.
Oh, man.
That ending blow on the French horn is priceless.
Jeez.
This song in the
man.
original had a lot of, I think I remember it having a lot of extra production and
Oh, man.
influence in the sound. So this is really fun to hear. And well, I think it had like major over auto tuning done. And so hearing a real organic voice singing it is a totally different experience. Also, I like
Gay
his
fish.
attitude and his placement.
Okay, you know, this is funny. I'm really amused right now because I knew she was gonna go back and listen to this again. I just got a good laugh, and so let's see how we like it the second time around. Okay, I was really laughing. My eyes are watering a little bit.
It's got such a good groove.
I've been so lonely, girl. I've been so sad
I've been
and
so
down.
lonely,
Couldn't
girl.
understand
So,
why
like,
haters
I can't get a
joked
girl.
around.
I'm a
I wanted
fish,
to
and
be
so I'm
free
gonna
with
become a
other
gay
creatures
fish.
like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
Dude, that guy's face. He's like, "'Cause I know that I'm a gay fish." Let's go back. I want to see. He takes it so seriously. Look.
Understand why haters joked
Hold on, I'm gonna zoom in on that.
around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
'Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
Notice when he goes up to his top notes, he's really keeping it quite narrow in the sound. The way
'Cause I know
going
that I'm
very
a gay
quickly
fish.
to this area, which is honestly a little uncomfortable for a lot of guys to sing, and it's gonna fit high. It's gonna sit a little bit in the passaggio and be jumping over it. The passaggio is essentially a zone where vocal registers are transitioning.
See,
And
she's talking about stuff that is outside my pay grade, okay? And that's okay. I've actually learned from her, like, all sorts of stuff, like a diphthong. I keep hearing you refer to diphthong in your videos, you know? I'm not going to explain what that is. You explain what that is. When you use terminology like that, you should define what it is. For the benefit of I'm somewhat of a seasoned musician, but I'm like hodgepodgey with my ability or something, you know what I mean?
it requires more precision and
'Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
it requires a lot more attention to the execution, essentially, so that the sound doesn't just splat. And he is very carefully narrowing that sound and keeping it super clear, super forward, so we get all of these words. And he's making it so he can navigate between a bunch of jumps that can be in and out of this kind of fussy area with a little more ease by keeping it narrow.
I love how Elizabeth is taking this so seriously, and but it's true. There's a lot of very skilled vocal technique going on, and a lot of skilled music. Okay. Gay fish. Here we go
I've been
again.
so lonely, girl. I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
'Cause I know that I'm a gay fish.
Gay fish, motherfucking gay fish.
I'm a fish.
And they
yo.
take it so gay fish, and there's all this orchestration with it. Okay, then, all right. Thank you for the laughs. I need the laughs.
On a gay fish.
It's all right, girl.
Making love to other gay fish.
Gay fish.
Weird Al Yankovic should have been in on this somehow.
Gay fish. Gay fish.
Yo.
And I would be shocked if Weird Al Yankovic didn't watch this. You got to watch this, Weird Al. Come on.
Motherfucking gay fish.
Motherfucking gay fish. Okay.
A fish, yo.
Going on a gay fish. Gay fish.
It's all right, girls.
Making love to other gay fish. Gay fish.
That's so great. I dig the way that they brought in the essentially a chorus behind it as well, and then let him.
I love that
riff
laugh she
and make-
had. I got to go back and hear her laugh after he blows
Other gay
out.
fish. Gay fish.
That's so great.
right.
I dig the way that they brought in the essentially a chorus behind it as well.
Okay, I'm not trying to take something from you by reviewing your videos. It's really given me a lot of joy, and you've given me something to do because, like I said, I sit around my house solitary and bored a lot of the time, and I've had a lot of joy these last few days testing out my new video system junk and stuff here, listening to you. For some reason, I've happened upon you, and I mean this with the utmost appreciation, that somehow YouTube's algorithm popped you in front of me where you were reviewing Dio, and I loved listening to you gush over Dio, and I was immediately taken by your extremely expressive face and your depth of knowledge with what you're talking about. So I appreciate it, actually, for real. That's not a joke. You might think, oh, like he's taking something from me, but I'm trying to add something to it that is even me, some layer of depth. I know I'm going to do videos where I'm reviewing other things, so I don't want you to think I'm just taking something from you or something like that. That, you know, you put hard work into what you're doing. I can see that. I'm just not trying to use you or embarrass you or humiliate you or anything. I'm just like all insecure. Obviously, I need to shut up and just keep watching.
And then let him riff and make cool sounds, or have fun interjections there. This was a really, really fun arrangement. I should mention, by the way, the singers we have here are Nikki Renee Daniels, Tamar Green, Jeff Creedy, and Elizabeth Stanley. I actually don't know which one's which, so I'm just going to give you all four names, and you can look them up.
Kudos
We'll also
to all
put it
of
in the
them.
About section of this video.
Wonderful.
Because they're awesome. Let's
They
keep
are.
going.
That's exactly right. They are awesome. Which one is this?
I'm gonna jack it where the sun always shines. Been spreading the word now, I need to ease my mind. Been planting them apple seeds, and while the apples grow.
See, you know what I said about being attracted to her earlier when she was singing the opera? I'm attracted to these ladies too. I'm not attracted to these other gay fish guy here, but these guys here, but they're all very talented. And no, you know what? Forget like I'm attracted to creative people, and this is not a sexual statement. But then when it's like a woman, I'm like, oh my God. It's like I feel more affected. That's the best way I can say it right now. Let's continue.
Oh, I'm gonna go out jacking it in San Diego. Jacking it, jack. It's gonna be swinging it, jacking it, swinging it, smack.
Smacking it, jackety jack.
It's gonna be swinging it, jacking it, swinging it, smack.
Sorry. I think that's the end of that one.
Imagine like a real opera piece, and like she probably doesn't start giggling because the humor here combined with the serious nature of the music because of the classical style. That's really brilliant.
Lovely, very precise high note again from soprano at the end. The way that they've pulled the videos together are incredible. But the thing that's just getting me the most is the delivery.
Look at that
from
guy
each of these
smiling right
singers.
there. Let me just pause on that and come after this here and let you see this guy smile. And he just got that big ee, and you're seeing it from the side like ee. All right, then, dude.
It is really good comedy.
And she's
It
got a
is
great
so
smile. This lady right here has a good smile. I feel like she looks like Skylar from Breaking Bad right there. A younger, thinner Skylar, before the baby weight. I'm sorry, that's a little rough. But yeah, for real.
Here, with ridiculous lyrics, the arrangement of it really works.
Yes.
It feels somehow a little vintagey. Like something I would hear in Main Street in Disneyland.
To me, it reminds me of is there a movie called Oklahoma? I know for karaoke, I learned a song called "Oh, What a Wonderful Feeling." I'm not singing it probably right now, but it reminds me of that kind of, I don't know how to describe it, old Western movie type deal with an orchestra soundtrack.
Maybe not with the same lyrics. Okay, back to the beginning.
Oh, she starts at the top.
I like this conductor too.
She loves to repeat things.
I'm gonna jacket where the sun always
Jacket!
shines.
He gonna jacket.
Now I need to ease my mind.
I should mention, we previously saw fellow on the left singing, and he went really high with his solo times. Now we hear him singing these really low notes, and I feel like, wow, he's got a pretty awesome range, really awesome. And then fellow that's in the middle here, he's got such good face and mouth movement.
But what strikes me as funny is they're all dressed up formally here, and so check them all out. They're all dressed up so beautifully, so formally. They look amazing. They could go and do a performance that wasn't funny. Imagine if they were dressed up like rated R or in really dirty hip hop. I don't know, something more edgy than that. It would make it less funny, because it's funny hearing them sing such absurd, nonsensical stuff, and to be all formal like that. That's part of what really enhances the humor of this whole idea. What a great idea to have an orchestra perform South Park songs with these very serious people dressed up beautifully.
His delivery is so on point. Okay, one more time.
I would say that about all of them.
I'm gonna jacket where the sun
I'm gonna jacket. And so how can you keep a straight face when you're performing and you go, I'm gonna jacket?
always shines. Been spreading the word now. I need to ease my
And he tips his head. He goes, he gonna jacket.
mind. Been planting them apple seeds.
I love those harmonies that come in.
Oh, I'm gonna go out jacking it in San Diego.
Those background vocals are nice.
Wow. That's such a fast line for him to fit in. He's gonna be smacking. He's gonna be smacking. Wow, that's so fast. Wow. Wow. Their mouths have to get tired after singing this, because they're really
I bet.
doing so very much to get all of these words out. And
Not to be crude, but I've heard porn stars say that their mouths get very tired. And I'm not even kidding. I've heard them say that, but I'm sorry to... But I mean, after all, this is South Park. I can't be too bad. This song is jackety jacket, whatever, masturbation song, so I don't think I'm too out of line saying that.
I'm thinking of the lower male's voice sound in particular. When you have a weightier sound like that, it can be hard to get through it as quickly, but he's keeping it, like I said, he's keeping it forward focused, keeping lots of light articulation, essentially. If you try to have heavy articulation in this case, it's usually going to slow you down. So it needs to be very light, sort of tip of the tongue, flicky with articulation to keep it very agile so you can get these words out. Let's go back just one more time on this one.
And these lyrics and whatnot, they are so fast that you have to be agile. It's like, it reminds me of something very fast like Eminem or something. Talk about agility with your mouth and tongue and stuff.
Articulation is incredible.
and I'm like attracted to this music when they go jackety ooh oh. I love that. It draws me in, even though it's silly as hell. I love Weird Al Yankovic. He can do that too.
I'm gonna go out jacking it in San Diego. Jacking it, jacking it, jacking it, jacking it. It's gonna be swinging it, jacking it, swinging it, swinging. Jacking it, jacking it, jacking it, jacking it. It's gonna be swinging it, jacking it, swinging it, swinging.
Ridiculous. And for the final clip today,
It is
chocolate
ridiculous.
salty
Okay,
balls.
Let's hear it. Oh yeah, okay. I want to hear
Hey,
it.
everybody, have you seen my balls? They're big and salty and brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up, just stick my balls in your mouth. Suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Oh man, dude, come on.
Then suck 'em,
Suck on these balls.
suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Now, I know I've heard this song on the show before, but once again, you see these serious, formal people saying, suck on my balls! And it's brilliant.
Pack full of goodness.
I get fiber, suck on my balls.
Go on,
And they go, suck 'em!
My balls, my balls. Salty, yeah. Salty balls.
Great rhythm in that.
The
Seriously.
faces of the kids. Perfect. I miss
Really, that's the facial expression little kids would have. I think little kids with a naughty sense of humor would be laughing at that.
something in this one because some of these are shorter
Little
than
kids would be laughing like I'm laughing right now, except there are kids who would feel guilty because they're like, trouble, oh my God.
original songs were. In this one, I remember that there was essentially a delicious recipe that the chef talked about
Suck
as he
on
was
my
describing
balls. Okay.
these chocolate salty
funny.
balls. And, like vanilla, sugar, and adding all of the various things. It was really fun. I want to say I think it was Isaac Hayes that originally sang this one. Really fantastic performance of it too. So I kind of missed that. They did get to the funny punchlines of it right away. And each of these are, 30-second, 45-second snippets. So that makes sense that you get to the punchline. But I kind of wish that this one was, 2 minutes, 3 minutes long so that we get that list of
very
ingredients. So you could think about like, oh, well, what if this was actually like a really delicious dessert?
But we know you're going to listen again right now, I bet. Watch.
Anyhow, one more time.
Say, everybody, have you seen my balls? They're big and salty and brown. If you ever need a quick
That
pick
is
me up,
great.
just stick my balls in your mouth. Suck on my chocolate salty
Stick my balls in your mouth. Yeah. I love it. I hope I'm not ruining it for anybody, but that is hilarious how seriously they take this. And yeah, they had to practice this a lot not to be laughing. Because their delivery is amazing on this.
these balls.
Put 'em in your mouth and suck 'em.
Suck on these balls.
Suck on
Put them in your mouth and suck them.
my chocolate salty balls.
Pack full of goodness.
I get fiber, suck on my balls.
Go on, suck these balls. Go on,
A couple things to mention vocally
Brilliant.
here. He's bringing in a little grit into the sound every now and then. It sounds like
Vocal having nothing to do with balls in the mouth, I hope. I seriously doubt it because you're not a crass lady, but that is what he's singing about after all, is balls in the mouth.
probably a retinoid engagement that's a little higher up in the vocal tract to create
Or he has balls stuck in his mouth, ergo producing that tone. I wonder if they practiced with balls in the mouth. Doubtful, but I'm just making shtick.
a little kind of Louis Armstrong-esque distortion, that grit, that growl, essentially. And then the backing vocals actually have a really tough line. The backing vocals need to be extremely precise, extremely short as well. They have to
Yes.
essentially
Hey, forget the humor. You're taking this seriously, and that is it's an amazing art craft, right?
pop in and then get out of the way really quickly so that they're not covering the lead line.
Pop them in, she says. Okay. Mm-hmm. Pop in the lyrics or pop the balls in the mouth? I'm just wondering because that is the song after all.
That kind of
Is she
singing
repeating the
can be
lyric?
quite difficult, actually. It's more written
I'm wondering, she's so into this, and we have a couple minutes left. I'm wondering if she's going to play it one more time.
as instruments in a lot of ways in a vocal line. And this is done quite frequently. It can be some of the more challenging singing and more taxing singing to do because we're not necessarily following normal vocal expression. They're acting more as backing instruments. Speaking of backing instruments, this orchestra is killing it. That's great. Okay, one more time.
I knew it. One more time.
Say, everybody, have you seen my balls? They're big and salty.
Salty.
And brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up, just stick my balls in your mouth.
Balls.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls.
Suck on these balls.
Hold on, I got to go back and do something.
Brown. If you ever need a quick pick me up.
Okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to slow down the speed, okay? Playback speed to, let's do a quarter of the speed, and let's zoom in on this and get a view and see if this is funny. Hey.
Stick my balls.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad I slowed that down. That was good. Go back to normal speed here.
Chocolate salty balls.
Suck on these balls.
Put 'em in your mouth and suck 'em.
Suck on these balls.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. They're
Packed full of goodness.
I get fiber. Suck on my balls.
Suck on these balls. I like it. Woo-hoo.
That was truly
I'm
ridiculous.
sure they do like it.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker are geniuses, combining
Yes.
this kind of crass humor with sophisticated performance has just
Brilliant.
the right edge of humor. And these musicians are good.
Yes.
They did a fantastic job, very technically proficient, on top of fantastic acting skills from everyone. Even the conductor, I feel like, was the center of that acting and showing everybody by his presentation how they should be.
I wasn't even paying attention to the conductor. I didn't even think about the conductor once until you mentioned him just now, but maybe because you work in that environment, that's natural for you. But I'm like, conductor, I'm the conductor.
Moding to the audience. Tons and tons of fun. My one disappointment, though,
What?
is that it did not contain Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo.
Oh.
So, Matt, Trey, if you guys
All
are
right.
watching this, can you please release that by Christmas time? I'd love to review that on the channel. Otherwise, for all of you who would like to see more analysis of funny and ridiculous things, check out this playlist over here. And I hope to see you soon.
All right. Charismatic Voice. Go subscribe to her channel. She's hilarious. And just uplifting as hell for me. Now, believe it or not, if you're feeling like, what's this guy do taking something from me? I want to tell you again, I'm going to use some guilt and whatnot. I'm going to tell you that I sit alone. I'm solitary and bored a lot of the time. And so the last few days you've given me something to do. This gives me some kind of weird, funny joy. And so I want to thank you. It was fun to review your review of this performance. It was the first time I had seen it. And so my reaction was natural, and I get this feeling that it might have been the first time you saw it as well. Your reactions were awesome. So thank you. Peace, everybody.